What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete. I am a progressive specialist playing Risk Global Domination on PC. Currently ranked 75 on the global leaderboard. And today is the next episode in the Waiting on Your Best Behaviour podcast. I do this show on Wednesdays. We have a weekly interview style, podcast style interview show. And today my special guest is Storm. How you doing, Storm?
Good.
Excellent to hear. I am so glad that you agreed to come on, and because I've been really interested to get to know you better and hear your story, and thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
All right. So we are playing a event helpers game for tomorrow. That is this a tradition?
It is, yeah. So the first time I was event helper, I think, is when it started.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, I think, 3 quarters ago. And it didn't seem like anyone was going to plan it this time, so I took it on myself.
Awesome. And are you actually playing tomorrow?
I think there's 6 of you, so I don't think I get to.
Okay. Who wants to help do my interview show?
Whoever joins this game is going to be like, what are these settings?
Now, with Storm. If Lucy wants to come, that would be fun too. I just played Lucy in a 3-hour Caps game. What's the code?
It's C7BVK.
BVK.
Do you want me to paste it? Oh, you got it.
I think I got
No,
it. Okay.
VV. 2 V's, not 1 B.
BB. Yes?
VV. I'll paste it
I
there.
fucked it up? Okay, you got it.
Sorry, I
Thank
don't
you.
enunciate very well sometimes.
No, I got it. I just, B's and V's, they're what's it called? Oh, I forget what it's called in, I took a linguistics class, so every mode of articulation when you speak has a specific thing it's called. Alveolar affricate, I think it's, anyways. The settings are Nan Madol, auto setup, progressive cards, 60-second turns, expert, no fog, no blizzards with true random dice. That's a troll, huh? Who picked that one?
It is. I took that one straight out of the Lucy book.
Okay, Lucy might like it then. And they're playing a big event, I'm sure. Stove and Bull looks like they're playing a Caps game with Lucy right now, so that might split our audience a bit, but
Yeah, I cannot do their long Caps games. I don't know how they do it.
why?
I just don't have the patience. Like, I can sit for maybe an hour or 2 and just put troops on my thing and hit one territory, but I get really bored, and then I'm like, I'm just going to go wreck everything.
So an hour is like your fuse, and then it's over?
Maybe 2. I mean, it really depends. Sometimes I'm in a Caps mood and I'll play for 3 or 4 hours, but, like, that's not my idea of fun. It's just boring to me.
Ooh, Gabe. All right.
Ooh, I love Gabe.
I know. He's really good, huh?
He's a good kid. Like, even though he is really good at the game, but, like, he's just genuinely a good kid.
I feel that way about most of the folks around here.
You know, it's interesting because teenagers are usually kind of jerks, but it seems like in the Risk community they're not. It's really strange.
Maybe it's just that this community has somehow successfully moderated itself.
That could be.
Which you are a part of, so thank you for that as well.
I try. You're on the Risk Forever server, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those kids, I fully expected when I joined to, like, be just a bunch of kids being mean to each other, you know, and they're just not. It's really strange. It's good, like a good strange, but it's strange.
You have the expectation from every other space in the internet that it's going to be a bunch of trolling.
Yes, exactly.
So, why don't we do a little bio, if I may?
Sure.
Tell us about yourself, please.
I am a 30-something. I'm not going to tell you how much.
Me too.
Single, well-divorced, mother of 2.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old, boy and a girl. I have 3 very adorable mean cats. I am a software tester.
Okay.
I've been doing that for 15 years, I think. 12 years, something like that. I've been playing Risk since, the beginning of time, I think. I started out, the first time I saw anybody playing Risk, it was my best friend and her uncle, and I was like, what is this? And they took forever to play the game, and I was so annoyed. But then when I got to play the next one, I really got into it.
So you feel like you got it almost right away?
Yeah, I got into it. I don't know that I was good at it, but I got into it. Should I start the game?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I'm excited to have Gabe and Cowboy, and Curls has been doing good work recently. And Aspen,
yeah, this should be a good one.
Should be. So, what do you think? What do you think about True Random? It's like you play a bit more conservatively.
I despise it.
Okay. Why?
Just because I like the numbers of it. Like, obviously, True Random is much more like the actual board game, which is cool. But I don't want to slow roll every turn, and I don't want to. Like, I have really bad luck, so every time it's up to luck, it's not good for me.
Alright, so it's 7 times 6, which is... Oh, my math is terrible. Help me. What's 7 times 6?
30... No, 54, right? No.
7 times
Jeez,
6
please.
is 42.
You put me on the spot. Why'd you do that?
Because I have a calculator and you don't. So it's 30. It's 30 territories to win.
And I put my troops in the wrong spot. Well, that wasn't very smart.
You got that deep purple, that royale color, though. I love it.
I'm about to make somebody angry.
Yeah, by hitting a 4-stack right off the bat, you might as well slow roll, eh?
Yeah, I always do a true random. It's kind of the only way to go. See, I went with a non-slow roll, and I killed all my troops.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
That was sad. Uh-oh, it might have frozen me. No, never mind. We're good.
So I've been playing...
I did leave alliances on. I forgot about that.
Oh, is this not the true settings?
No, it will be.
Okay, alliances will be on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like you've probably been playing about as long as me. I've always loved this game, but getting into it now as sort of like my main hobby is a completely different beast, because it's it's become very all-encompassing. You know, I play a lot now. And
yeah.
The game for me has always been play the man, not necessarily just play the board, or woman, as the case may be, right? So
right.
It's very much like this process of like getting to know all the Grandmasters and connecting myself with the community is a piece of the game of Risk for me, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does.
Yeah. All right. So 7 on 3 should be 100%, right?
If it wasn't true random, maybe.
Right. Cowboy doesn't like it. He's giving me the thumbs down. He wants to, wait, he wants to go the other way? Oh, no. Oh, Cowboy. Are we gonna have trouble right away?
I hit Curls' 4, and then he asked me to be his alliance and gave me a heart, so we're cool.
Yeah, sure. I trust that.
Same.
So, what do you think about patience? I want to dig into that one a little bit. You say you're not a patient person.
I am not a patient person. I mean, it depends. Like, when it comes to certain situations, sure, I can be super patient. I'm patient with people. I like to think pretty patient with people. But, like, my own self, like, just sitting there, I don't know, I don't have the patience for it. I can't justify the time to myself if I'm going to hit him again.
Give him the thumbs up, though, before you do it.
Oh, and I didn't work that day. Oh, I got it. Sweet. I'm so sorry. My cat is freaking out.
I hear him.
Yeah, long story short, he and the kitten that we have can't get in the same room. They try to kill each other, and so he's stuck in the room with me right now because the kitten's in the living room. He's mad.
Oh, look what he did. Look what this guy did. He just pissed away his entire position in anger.
Oh my gosh.
For no reason. He already got a card. Now he's done. Now he's just... Oh my god, that's so funny. Talk about patience, huh?
Yeah.
That was an apropos moment. No, so like, I never thought I would be able to appreciate a Caps game. Because, like, I'm one of those psychos who... Like, I'm crazy about efficiency. I want to, maximize the utility of every second.
Right.
But it's really more... That's the key skill I find in Caps, is just outweight your opponent. Oh my god.
I wonder if everybody realizes this is true random yet.
They do now.
Yeah, that was rough.
Preserve your troops, guys.
Yeah. I really just don't... I'm not the outlaster. Even in the tournament games, like, I knew if it was a long game, I wasn't gonna get first. Like, there's no way I was gonna do that.
Okay.
I just can't... I can't sit there and do nothing. I get really bored. And if I'm bored, I'm not gonna pay attention to the game, and I'm gonna lose anyway, so...
So having fun is always an important... Oh my god!
Got the slow roll! That was rough.
Horrible. What? It wouldn't have changed my decision, though. Right? The slow roll wouldn't have affected my decision. I wouldn't have stopped. I still needed a card, so...
Yeah, but the thing is, if you slow roll, you're gonna most likely get it. I'm telling you, like, I know the odds are random or whatever, but if you slow roll, you'll probably get it way before you lost 5 troops on it. You know what I mean?
Is that a fact?
I believe so. I mean, I wouldn't trust my word on it. I would figure it out myself, but
Sure.
That's how it seems to me.
So in order to figure it out, I gotta play a whole lot more true random.
Yeah.
Right.
Oof.
Yeah, everyone's getting brutal rolls today.
Yeah, this is bad.
So, software tester sounds like a job that would require patience, though.
Not really.
He's gonna roll me again!
He's still doing it.
He's so angry.
Oh.
I can't believe it, dude.
What is he doing?
He's just pissed off. I don't know.
Why is he mad, though? What happened?
Because I attacked him instead of you on the first turn.
Oh. Talk about taking it personal.
Everyone has their own, like, different personalities. Right? I should
true.
know better than to upset Cowboy on the first turn. This guy's my 2v2 partner. I should know his personality in and out. So I'm leaving 2 stacks here because I know 2 stacks defend quite well in true random.
True.
But we will see. Yeah, I think I get bored easy too. I pretty much stopped watching TV.
Yeah.
I mean, I started making TV, so that's
That must have been quite the change.
It was a whim, believe it or not. It was really just an idea that was like, maybe people would enjoy what I've always had a notion in my head that maybe people would enjoy, or maybe I have something to offer, enjoy my thoughts, but I was never able to package it in a way that made sense or that was well received until now. So this is such a... I can't even like fully explain how rewarding this process of making video and oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm really glad we practiced this because now I won't totally pooch it tomorrow.
That was rough. That was 7-2.
Yeah. All right, I will be slow rolling. I promise.
That's the way I do it.
Okay.
I mean, I still want a card but I always slow roll. in true random, unless I'm like running out of time or something. So you always wanted to do something like, I get what you're saying.
It might
But
be.
what made
It might
you
be
decide that Risk was going to be it? Like, that you wanted to stream Risk?
So, I started playing the app. I mean, I played Risk on the board for years and years and years, right? And I started playing the app right when the pandemic happened. And then I noticed that I was better than I thought. Right?
Yeah?
I was like, oh, okay, my win rate is significantly better than it, quote, should be. So then obviously the question is, how good am I? So I work at it, I spend a lot of time. I have a very obvious tendency to addiction, so that's certainly part of it. And then, so this was March I started, and then in August I was like, well, maybe I'll record myself and I'll, talk about the strategy. And
right.
that made me so much better. You wouldn't think maybe that witnessing your own thoughts and narrating them as you have them would be...
I mean, I would.
Yeah, okay.
I would think that would help, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me. Get out of here.
Yeah, it would. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of it myself, no.
It was just a whim, right? I was sitting on my balcony and it came to me, and I was like, let's try this out. Because I'm very much a doing type person. I like to try a lot of things. I've done a lot with my life. So start doing this, and I'm like, oh, now my win rate's even better. And then, how far can this possibly go? And then I saw a post from Sterling in Reddit about the Discord and the tournament, and that was sort of my introduction, was last quarter. I came around and had a really successful run in that tournament.
Yeah, you did. So I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes?
I didn't like you at first.
What did I do?
I felt like you guys played a crappy way in the finals, and I didn't like it.
Like, you didn't like how I played specifically?
I didn't like the way that you were able to manipulate everybody else to play the way that you wanted them to.
Yes.
Like, I felt like everybody picking on Sterling was just not a good move. And I probably would have done it had I been in the game, but for some reason watching it, I felt like it was just a cheater way of winning, maybe.
Because Sterling's your friend, and you're like, oh no, who is this jerk coming in? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally, I get it. That's fair.
But then I talked to you, and I was like, oh, well, he's actually a good guy.
Sometimes. No, like, I will maintain, and I will have the record show in perpetuity, that it was a pro-Pete move and not an anti-Sterling move. Right?
No, yeah.
I am trying to win the game. And unfortunately, in order for that to happen, someone has to lose. But, like, I've talked to Sterling now, and I really respect everything that he's done. And I'm really grateful for him, like, actually being the impetus for me to come and join this community. So, it sucks that it happened that way. It really does. Like, you know what I mean? I'm having cat problems, too.
No, it's okay. I totally, like, I felt bad, like, when I realized that I had not given you a fair chance, but I had been in a few practice games where people had done that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Gabe had done it, and probably you and somebody else, and in those games, I'm pretty sure that I suicided onto whoever was doing it, because I was like, that's not even cool.
It's too
So I already
manipulative.
had, like, a distaste for it, so then when I saw it in the tourney game, I was like, this is so messed up.
Well, okay, so what specific... I want to understand this better. What specifically do you find so irksome about the manipulation?
It's just like... Risk is every man for himself. Even with alliances in the end, it's every man for himself. So, like, if every single player just hits one person, how is that a fair game?
Well, the argument... I mean, as far as fair goes, everyone is free to make their decisions. But
Correct.
But I think the argument goes that what's the alternative, right? Everyone turtles and you sit there for hours, for even more hours than it...
That's true as well.
Yeah.
Or everyone does what's in their own best interest.
So listening to Pete might not be.
Yeah, like
Yes.
the people who hit Sterling and lost a ton of troops on it and got like 5th, that wasn't a good idea for them, you know. They could have maybe stayed back and watched you guys fight it out, and then maybe they would have got a higher one, or a higher place.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know that there's a correct answer. I think a lot of folks
I don't think so.
around, like, okay, so you talked about the Risk Forever server. A lot of folks who watch Champs work seem to behave like there is a, quote, correct strategy when it comes to fixed.
Yeah.
And I just don't agree. Like, what do you think about that?
I don't think there's a correct strategy, honestly, for any settings in Risk. I think that it depends on the game. It depends on who you're playing. Oh, your 2 is killing me. Like, literally killing me right now.
Don't get mad.
There we go. I don't ever get mad about Risk, to be honest with you. I don't care enough to, like, let it upset me.
I don't know.
It's just a game.
I heard a little something in your voice there.
No, I was like, what is going on with this stupid 2?
Sure. Yeah.
I try not to let it upset me. There are some people that sometimes do upset me. That's not true. Everyone's like, oh, you're so nice. I'm not that nice.
Cal was just popping my forehead. He's so mad at me. Oh my god, why? Why do you do this?
That's funny.
It is. I'm gonna eat him for breakfast.
But yeah, so I don't feel like there's necessarily a correct strategy. There's strategies. There's plenty of strategies.
Right.
But it just depends on the game. The people you're playing as to which one would be the quote-unquote correct one.
Yeah, see, that's kind of where I come in on that. I think the context matters, the players matter, their style, every little data point. Oh, I hope you lose. Now he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Oh no!
Oh, he's gonna kill him. Oh no! I didn't even realize he was almost dead.
Oh,
Sad day.
I did. It was all going into
I wasn't
me.
paying attention.
That's all part of my plan, Storm. I'm just chatting with you to distract you from the game.
I don't win enough to need to be distracted.
No? What do you what do you do for ranked, if I may ask?
Huh?
What do you do for ranked?
I actually, so when I first joined the Discord server, I had been playing Risk for, gosh, ever since the mobile app came out, I had been playing Risk. And I always thought I was like those crazy people that are like, this game is freaking rigged. Like, I used to get so freaking mad. I even have like a couple of old support tickets where I was like, how is it that I always lose connection when I'm about to win a game? Like, I was so mad about it. But then I was like, I actually thought I was pretty good. But I just thought that ranking was just, it was broken. There wasn't any way to rank up. So I joined the Discord server and I played a few games with people like Baxter and Dove and Bernie, and I was like, man, I really suck. Like, I am not good at this game at all.
Compared to them, sure.
Yeah. So they let me in on the secret of Simple World Caps 1v1. I honestly didn't even know you could play 1v1s. I thought you had to have at least 3 players to start a game.
Yes.
I don't know why I thought that, but I thought that. So then I started doing that, and that's how I ranked up. But for years, I never got higher than, like, expert, I think. I was playing 5-player games, too. Like, whatever was up, I didn't really care.
I always cared about rank, and I'm not entirely sure why. But I definitely didn't see the 1v1 thing as a, quote, fair method.
It isn't.
Until, basically the one thing that opened my eyes about it was I was talking to someone and they were just like, every game becomes a 1v1 eventually.
That's true.
Well, so as far as it goes for ranked, I would agree. I think maybe the ideal solution would be to have a separate 1v1 ladder or something.
Agreed. But
I am biased because I'm one of the few people who is able to be top 100 playing multiplayer free-for-all. So, I fully recognize that is a biased thing for me to say.
I prefer like the multiplayer games, and I actually have an alt that I just play games on because I like playing with random people and I like playing random settings, but I don't want it to destroy because in this community being a Grandmaster is like a big deal, so I definitely don't play on my regular account.
Yeah, well, I've a nonsense funsies account too for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I think you're high enough profile that nobody would give a shit about what your rank is at this point.
Maybe. You might be right.
Well, so tell me about the Discord experience for you, because you're support. What does support mean?
Support means that we just make sure that, everybody's on their best behavior. The community is safe for children and adults. Basically just be mommy when we have to be. I mean, that's how I see it. I actually just joined support. So I did EH a few times, and they had asked me after the first time if I ran out of time. Slow rolling is not going to work on this map with true random.
You can use the blitz slider, maybe. You use the blitz slider at all?
No, I don't like that thing. I don't think it works right.
I don't think it works right either, but it is a time saver. I agree. It never seems like those rolls make any sense as well. Oh man, I am just getting farmed by these guys.
They are kind of jerks.
No,
I'm just kidding.
It's pride. Every man for themselves, as you said.
But so I didn't want to be support at first because I didn't think that I had the time really for it, and I wasn't that into the community. I was on the Discord server for a good year before I even said anything.
Really?
My join date is like a few days after Lucy's. I've been on there for a really long time. I didn't really see the point in talking in it. I didn't know if I don't know. I just didn't really. I played the game, and I only went on there to complain once, and then I just never used it again. But then there was a tournament, and I was like, oh, well, that should be fun. And so I kind of got into it because of the tournaments.
Same.
But I had a lot of free time with, COVID and all that. And getting a job where I work from home, that changed my schedule a lot, too. So then I was like, okay, I'll do it. And so I became staff. I don't think that I'll ever want to be moderator or anything. I just don't think that.
Well, what's even the difference?
Moderators have ban abilities. They just have more of the punishment side of it. They have to deal with more of the punishment side of it. And I would rather just not deal with the punishment side of it and be more the, learn your lesson type.
Hey guys, I'm here to help.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I feel you, man. The power is not something that I crave at all.
Yeah, I don't feel that I need it. I think I can do what I need to do in life without it, so.
Well, I will say I am grateful for all that hard work.
Well, thank you. It's really not that hard, honestly.
Until it is.
The tournaments are a lot of work, but the monitoring the server is not.
Oh, that was a mistake. Yeah, because as you said, a lot of people are on such good behavior that it isn't as hard as it otherwise could be.
There's every once in a while we'll get a batch of trolls, and that's about it.
Oh man, this guy's got 5 cards. Wow. Can I win?
Really should pay more attention.
Can I win this game?
Shoot. I did not pay attention at all.
It'll be fine.
Oh no, game!
Sorry, man. Too bad, girls.
I think you won this game.
I think I might. Yeah, I might have had it locked down. Okay, what do I do with this, though?
What do you do with that? See, that's where I was struggling, is even with big stacks, with true random, who knows what's gonna happen? I don't know where to put anything, or who to attack.
Well, I only have to hit what? I only have to hit 30? I think I can get 30.
Oh, yeah. What are you at now? Oh, you got a ways to go.
The clock, though. The clock. Let's sit there.
Oh, you should have done it. Why'd you stop?
Because I don't have time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But
now, 60 seconds makes a big difference.
But now someone's gonna hit me real hard. And I don't think any of you can. Maybe if Astragan has a match, but I think I win next turn. He does! He does have a match! Nice!
Oh, man.
Nice. These are cool settings. I could do without the TR, but other than that...
Yeah, I would play this definitely if it wasn't true random, for sure.
What did you think of the Japan 70%? The round 2 70%?
I'm trying to remember how I did in that game. Oh, I made Parlux really, really mad in that game.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so he had that little tiny continent that he took from me, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And then I had like a stack beside him, and even though he had that like tiny continent and was getting more and I was only getting like 3, he like attacked my stack, and so I just kind of took him out, or I attacked him enough that he got taken out, and so he was pretty mad at me. But I definitely play with my emotions, like I'm not gonna lie at all. If you make me mad, I'm probably going to attack you.
So, you're one of the few people who would admit that.
Yeah, so Arthur used to always say, oh, women play, they're emotional, they play emotional, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, we don't. But then I started, like, paying attention to myself, and I 150% am a vindictive player. Like, if you come after me, I'm going to come after you, like, tenfold.
I don't think that's a female characteristic at all, though. Because, like,
I don't either. Arthur just
definitely that way, too.
Especially if you come after me unnecessarily. Like, if you just hit me because you want to, I'm gonna have to hurt you.
Alright, I think I got it now.
Yeah, you definitely got it. As long as true random doesn't happen.
It always happens, doesn't it?
Oof.
Alright, what do I got? 15 more? Let's see if I got time.
Oh, you're almost there.
The speed. Oh, it just hurts me. It used to be much less of a concern. Can I get it? Yes. All right, GG.
GG.
Okay, what do you want to do now?
Dealer's choice.
Okay, so I'm in the mood for Central America. Seem good? Yes?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Alright. I'm going to keep the...
Central America forever.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of like the first map that I really started grinding on after Classic. Okay.
Mine was France. I'm pretty sure France.
France is too small, though.
Yeah, and I still loved it for some reason, and I don't know why, because I didn't play like 1v1, I played multiplayer. I really liked Zombies at first, too. Like, when Zombies first came out, I was like, this is amazing. It was my favorite. I think mostly because people didn't understand it, and so, like, I could use that against them.
I still don't understand it.
I don't think there's a science to it. People say that there is, and like that zombies do certain things. The only thing that I've actually noticed to be true is they will not attack unless they have double what you have.
Haven't you seen the zombies pathing maps?
I have heard. I haven't looked at it.
Ah, okay. I don't know. Talk to Obi-Wan a bit and then tell me if you still think it's not an exact science, because he seems to have figured it out.
So, with code and, like, AI, I feel like it could be an exact science, but most likely the way that it's coded, it can't possibly be.
Ooh, interesting. Tell me more.
So, the bot is always going to... the bot isn't going to, like, adapt to its settings or anything, because it's coded a certain way to do a certain thing. So I don't understand how it would... I don't know how to explain it. I don't understand how it could Like, there could be... I mean, I guess. Actually, I totally disproved what I said, didn't I?
I'm listening to you talk, so...
So I'm thinking I meant that it could have pathing, but I don't think the zombies do, honestly.
Okay. Then what? If not that, then what?
I think that they will just not hit any... Like, I think that they were coded just to not hit anything less than double what they have. So, like, they have to have double it. So, like, if you put double that on their pathing, they're not going to hit there.
They're going to hit somewhere else.
Yeah, they're going to hit somewhere else.
But no, but I like as far as the directions that they move. Right? They move in a predetermined... As far as I know.
Maybe I don't understand.
I will link one of these zombies pathing maps in the show notes, and I'll show you when we're done, and maybe you can tell me what you think, because at first they really did seem random, but then I started asking around, like, you know, asking the zombies guys, asking Ares and Misty, and you know, people who get really good at zombies, and apparently they move very predictably.
AI can adapt and grow, but I highly doubt that that's the way that it's programmed. So I guess it makes sense, but then I don't know. I feel like there's too many different variables for it to be predictable, if that's what I mean.
Okay. As things get more and more complicated, they become harder and harder to predict.
Correct.
That segues nicely into a question that I'm curious to know, because you're a mom. So, I have a 4-year-old nephew, and my sister and I, like, I look at this guy's life and I think about, 10, 15 years in the future, and I think how hard it was for me growing up, and it's got to be for a kid now to establish their context, their time and place in the world. It must be way harder than for us, right?
Yeah, and you know what? That's so very true. I mean, my kids are like adults, and they still are struggling with like finding their place. It's really tough in the way that information at your disposal, the way that it is now, makes everything more complicated and everything easier, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so what is harder and what is easier?
It's harder in the sense that how do you compete with that? Like, if anybody can get all of this information at any, given time, then how does that make you valuable in the system? Like, how do you get it better than somebody else? Or, like, how do you process it better? Like, how do you find your place in it? And easier because you have all that information available at any time. So, like, you shouldn't really have any type of a learning curve on stuff like that, if that makes any sense at all. We're
not designed for that kind of environment.
We are not.
We are designed for an environment that changes very slowly.
Correct.
Yeah. So it took me until my 30s before I can honestly say I felt like I understood my time and place. And because complexity stacks on top of complexity, I can only imagine that's going to get worse.
Yeah.
And like now we have these rectangles in our pocket that have the sum total of all human information at your fingertips.
Right.
And I've really noticed that younger people that I meet, their brains seem to be a lot like I'm an aspiring Jeopardy champion, okay? So I have a ton of just nonsense stored in my mind. But like younger people, they seem to be a lot more like RAM than a hard drive as far as mental abilities. Like they don't need to store the information, they just need to access it.
Right.
Imagine how they would be without their phone though. It's far more integrated.
Yeah, and then they're lacking a lot of like the social aspects as well. Not even like just because of like COVID and such, but like I feel like my kids have a lot more online friends, and I'm the same. Like I'm guilty of it too, but like they don't really go out and socialize very much, whereas we didn't have a choice. Like that's just how you had to have friends.
Yeah, what are you, a weirdo? You don't have friends?
Yeah, you don't go over to your friends' houses? Like, exactly. you what? Yeah.
Well, so that is a very real concern that I have about the new normal. That people will start feeling like connecting with others face to face is archaic in some way.
Yeah.
Because, like, we're all sort of put in these boxes that make us these, like, nice little production and consumption engines for the sake of the economy, but I don't like I'm so desperate for that human connection, right? I've learned that the real joys in life are your friends and your family, right?
Yeah.
Things don't matter.
Yeah, I get that completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you. I figured you would get it.
Don't matter.
Things do not matter. Things
Well,
are not important. In a year, your emotions will return to baseline regardless of what happened. So the last thing you should pay attention to is some new shiny trinket or your risk rank achievement or whatever, right? It's all sandcastles.
right. Yep. It's so true. It's so true. And it won't be a pretty sandcastle in a year or whatever. Yeah. Everything's ever changing and growing, and it makes. Yeah.
Do you have long-term goals? Are you changing and growing into something?
So I actually recently, I'm going to tell you something that I wouldn't normally tell people, but I got married and had my son when I was 17.
Wow, okay.
I didn't, obviously, then I didn't have time to do any kind of college or, pursue anything. I was a waitress for the first half of his life, living day to day, just barely getting by, and then I got an opportunity to start at a company that was just brand new, and they were training people, and that's how I got into software. So I don't have any college degree or anything like most of the people that I work with, and I'm one of the oldest people usually on my team because it took me 10 years to get the experience in order to be respected or given those positions, whereas if I had gone to college I might have gotten it when I was 20 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I recently decided that you're never too old to try to better yourself. So I enrolled in some courses.
Nice. What are you studying?
I'm hoping at the very least to get my associates in computer science.
Cool. Practical.
Yeah. It's a degree that can be multi-used, I think.
And that will also get you more money, I hope.
Yes. I mean, I'm super duper fortunate. I don't know how it happened, but the job that I got, it kind of fell in my lap after 10 years of super duper struggling at a job that I made not even half of the industry standard, working hundreds of hours a week. So money isn't necessarily the biggest concern, but I don't want to do what I do for the rest of my life. There's not too many 40, 50-year-old testers out there, so I want to be able to climb up and do something else as well,
Management?
Yeah, I was a boss at my last job. I was a assistant manager, I think they called me, or supervisor, or team lead. I don't know what they called it, but I really did enjoy that.
So I despise management.
I only like it in the fact that I like to help people learn and grow. I like to help people become who they can be or whatever. I hate the punishment part of it. I hate having to deal with any of that, but it comes along with it, so.
Yes. Well, so I've always been an entrepreneur, right? So I've always worked for myself. I've always built businesses. And the problem with the promise of being a business person is there's always that subtle distinction with your employees, right? There's always that under the surface. It's well, this guy's trying to fuck me and I'm trying to fuck him. And it's just understood. And ultimately, I agree with you. I wish I could have had a mentorship type relationship with my employees where there was a mutual respect, but it was just too difficult in my industry. I couldn't afford to pay people enough and you know what I mean, and remain profitable. So it was always predatory in one direction or the other. Either they were taking from me or I was taking from them, you know what I mean? So I never had peers.
I get that, I think.
And I love having peers. I love finding this space where, you know, I'm able to chat with brilliant people who I have so much to learn from. I'm sure you can tell.
Okay.
I'm sure you can tell how positive I am about this, because I won't shut up about it.
I work with some pretty smart people. That's another reason why I decided to go back to school. Is the guys that I work with are like super geniuses, and that makes me feel stupid a lot. So like, I get what you're saying, but then I also maybe like being the smart one in the room that can like help people be smart. If that makes any sense. Probably just an ego thing, but...
I was going to say it if you didn't. I was like, is that just your ego talking? Or?
It's definitely just an ego thing,
Not just. I mean, like, so this whole endeavor for me, it's like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to be good at Risk, right?
Right.
Like, there's a lot of ego there. So I always have to check myself and just be like, well, you're not as good as you think you are. You know you have so much to learn. And the process of me learning... and doing that publicly, I think, has to be some of the value, right? You guys get to watch me experience all of the possibility that is this community. You know, all the brilliant minds and fun people that I get to meet in chat. I can't believe that I've somehow carved out this space where somebody like you would actually want to sit down and chat with me for a couple of games. I think it's super cool.
I think that you are so down to earth that you feel like I'm somebody who's important, but I'm not.
That's ridiculous.
I'm happy
Everybody's
that
important.
I am a part of a community where somebody would want to talk to me like that.
That was a needlessly humble thing to say. That you
It's
think
true though. Like I don't feel like I'm in any way. And I'm not even, like, I don't grind. I'm not high rank. You guys are all way higher than me. Other than offering, like, words of wisdom, I'm not sure what I bring to the community, to be honest with you. But I love it, every minute of it.
Yeah, but, like, that's... words of wisdom is my jam, man.
Yeah, but not words of wisdom. Like, I couldn't really teach anybody. Like, I don't even really have a strategy when I play, to be honest with you. Like, I have certain things that I do, but... I just do whatever. Yeah. I don't really I don't have it all planned out from the beginning. Like some people are like, oh, I know what I'm going to do in like 5 moves. I don't even know what I'm going to do this move. Like I don't pay enough attention. I don't take it seriously enough, but I still enjoy it, I guess. I don't know how to explain that necessarily.
No, but that's a style. That's like playing intuitively, playing on instinct is very much a style. And I don't presume to tell anyone that their style is right or wrong. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No.
I see how you play. I remember, however, it might be a month or 2 ago, we were playing a fog game in Turkey. Right? And I almost killed you, but I missed a stack, and then you killed me, and I was just like, oh, I almost got her, but she's mad and she's going to get me. And I love that. I love that, like, you show your teeth a little bit. There's so many robots who are just calculating out there. So it's a cool minority of people. Like Buck takes revenge a little bit too, and I like that about him. Yeah. I like that about him for sure.
Yeah. I definitely, that's probably one of my favorite, but maybe because I am so like not necessarily nice, but I just don't really get upset about other things. Like I don't. You could say whatever you want to me, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." But like, I get to be that like revengeful person, I guess, when I play Risk. I think that's probably part of what I really like about it.
It helps you get that energy out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need some kind of competition in my life. It's very hard to get an objective measure of yourself. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's no place in the world other than your very, very good friends, and even them, they're biased.
Yeah.
I have 6 positions. I'm going to live forever, right?
You are going to live forever. This is your map.
I don't think it is.
So what made you get into You do landscaping, right?
Yeah. So I have a philosophy degree. So my joke is that qualifies me to mow lawns. But
Makes sense.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've always been a very sort of cautious, conservative person. I lived with my folks for a very long time until I bought the house that I live in now. So I saved my money. I never went into debt to go to school. I just ran my business, grew it slowly for years and years and years until we had a bunch of employees and a bunch of crews, and it was a success by one measure. Right, I achieved my aim of being like the biggest landscaping company in my part of town. The problem was I wasn't really making enough money, so I sacrificed my bottom line at the sake of customer satisfaction, and then my health started to fail because I was not taking enough responsibility for that. So my party 20s, I guess, caught up to me. And ever since then, I also have a, I'm a pretty passionate advocate for psychedelic use in a medical context. I think as psychedelics become legal, we can potentially use them for psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy. They've anecdotally had a tremendous benefit for me. I have some kind of chronic depression, so it's been great for my mood to figure out this thing about myself, and I know it's not for everybody, but and you don't have to share your opinions on that if you're not comfortable.
No, I was gonna say I actually would like to talk about that more because I had a debate with my son about that. Okay. So you have then used psychedelics, obviously.
Yeah, for many years, and I can honestly say I've had such tremendously positive effects that unless you have a couple things that are contraindicated, a family history of schizophrenia or a personal history of a psychotic episode or SSRIs. If you're on SSRIs, then those things might be contraindicated to experimenting with psychedelics. But if you can get, there's a organization called MAPS, Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, and they will do, if you can get in the studies, they will do psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy for certain traumas. So that would be the legal avenue to explore.
Right.
Yeah, and
so
yeah,
I personally have done only once, and for somebody, from the point of view of somebody who had a horrifying trip, like it was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
Sure.
I don't see how that could be beneficial to somebody with trauma, but that's because I never had, I don't know what the benefit side of it I guess, but I know that for me it was terrifying. It was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
Well, here's my question then. Do you not suppose that maybe being that terrified was something you had to learn? Could that not have been a good thing too?
I mean, I guess possibly, but for me, I assume that somebody with trauma has already been terrified and they're looking for some sort of comfort or something. But I guess there is different forms of maybe trauma or different ways of helping. I know there's shock therapy and all kinds of stuff. So I can probably see the benefit of it. I just personally, because I had such a bad time, it seems far-fetched to me. Not to say that you don't know what you're talking about, because I'm sure you do. You probably have much more experience in it than I do. But I can't imagine terrifying the people who are like my son was saying that there's a lot of with veterans, they're doing stuff like that.
Okay. Yes.
And to me, that just seemed like a really scary idea. To come back for more or something, and then to have a bad trip, it would be terrifying to me.
Well, so I think the notion that the way you're using the term bad trip, I think might not.
Yeah, I guess I should say it differently.
No, I'm not telling you you're saying it wrong. I just want to kind of define the terms that we are talking about the same thing.
Sure.
So I think of it as, and I've never had a, quote, bad trip, personally, but I think of it as you had a challenging time, and you had a perspective on your own mind shown to you that wasn't pleasant. It wasn't fun. But maybe you learned something that you needed to know.
Yeah, okay. I could go that. So my personal experience was, I remember it being like really fast that it hit me. And to be fair, when I did it, I did way more than I should have, just because the people I was with told me I should have. So like, I probably didn't. I might have even like overdosed a little bit, so
Sure.
It might be different.
Sure.
But it was just scary to me, and all I really remember is just being scared. Like, I had to tell myself over and over again, like, who I was, to try and, like, I have really bad anxiety, though, so I feel like maybe that was part of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember being scared, and I don't know what I learned from it, honestly, other than don't do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's okay, right? I have been scared in these moments, and the ability to bring myself back was a key skill. I think fear is it's been hard in my life to try and face my fears. Right? I've been in my own way a lot. And
can relate.
Yeah, totally, right? So Uh-oh. He's getting Jimothy. Yeah, he's getting Jimothy now.
Oh, that's Jimothy. It's not Gabe anymore. My bad.
Same color. Cowboy's in good shape. This might be bad news. Yes, what can I tell you personally, maybe that will connect? So, do you know what ayahuasca is?
I do not.
Okay, so ayahuasca is a Peruvian plant medicine that is a brew made up of a bark and a root that don't grow together in the Amazon. And you you consume this in a ceremonial setting. It was very emotional. I got very scared the first time. He's going to eat you too now. Uh-oh.
Probably I have 5 cards. Can he get me is the question. Nope.
Nope. Well, now you eat him.
Yeah.
Too slow, cowboy.
I still have a 10 over here. What is he even doing?
I don't know. Go get him.
That's funny.
Go get him, story. While I tell the people my story. Yeah, so you do this in a ceremonial setting, and I learned a ton about myself. I've done this 3 times. You have an intention setting ahead of time where you share. So it's like a group therapy almost, right? You share your intention for the experience. You do the medicine, and then let me see. I want to see you kill.
I shouldn't have split that. Maybe.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough split.
Oh shoot! I can't get him.
Too bad. Yeah, long story short, I really think that in the right context, done safely, these things can be a tremendous benefit. But my experience with anxiety and depression is just be present, right? Meditate, learn how to calm your mind. It's a lifelong battle, right?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And now that you mention it, like, I guess I never really thought about it, but the being in the moment thing actually did help me eventually, because I was able to learn how to control my panic attacks through, just how I was able to get myself through that. I guess that would make sense, if that makes sense.
Do you ever meditate?
I have tried meditation. I've been able to get control under my panic attacks, of my panic attacks for a while. I don't necessarily use meditation, but I do use, they call it, I don't remember, anyways, it's basically just like focusing on one thing, which is kind of like meditation, but like just bringing myself into the moment rather than like in my head type of thing.
Well, yeah, you seem like a very mental, like mind-focused type person.
Right.
So that, no surprise that it would lead to your profession. It would lead to, maybe spending so much time in the future, as people with anxiety might be prone to do, right? We dwell on what could be.
Right.
Has he got it now? Man, Cowboy's hunting today. Look at this.
I know. I can't believe I missed him. I'm so sad. I should probably pay a little more attention, but...
Well, it's a very distracting format, right? We're asking you to do two different, like, totally different mental exercises, right? I'm asking you to have a coherent conversation with me and tell me something about yourself while also figuring out how to not totally... It's difficult, right? This is a difficult format.
Difficult.
Yeah, I love it, though. I love the challenge because you get to see where other Grandmasters are at. Like, I'm obviously on the home turf because I'm used to just blah, blah, blah while I play. I do it all the time. Oh, no, Cowboy, no. No, he's going to go for me. Don't blow it.
We both have 3 cards. Why would he go for you? Oh, he didn't go for anyone.
He's just setting it up. Setting up that kill.
Oh, I don't have a set. So sad.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm going to break him at least.
You sure you want to do that?
Yeah, why not? He's gonna kill me anyways. Oh, wait. Maybe I can... No, I can't. Could I? No, I can't. No, I can't. I'm gonna do it.
How much crazy are these maps with really good opponents, eh?
Yeah, it's like...
Totally different game.
It's... Yeah. Sorry, just trying to think of what I wanted to do next, which is not open that for him to kill this side, and I'm gonna go over here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm dead anyways. I didn't have a set.
Do you think you're dead?
Yeah.
How's he gonna get your 10?
He has that. Well, not with the 20, I guess.
He's gonna kill me. I think I'm
dead. You're probably dead. Yeah.
I think I'm
unless
dead.
You have a set. You might have a set.
I do not. Oh well.
I was gonna kill Astragan, but I couldn't. He has learned and grown a lot since he started. I remember I didn't even like playing with him at first.
Because it was too random?
He was just too aggressive. I don't really like to... And I know it's a strategy, and I know it works for some people, but for friends games, I don't want to play with people who are overly aggressive. It takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, because you just die accidentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I say it very analytically. You're not wrong because you play that way, but I don't want to play with someone who is beneath the skill level where I can have a fun game.
Yeah.
So that's a
nice way of putting it.
Thank you. I've worked hard on this thought. No, because and to be perfectly honest, it's a large part of why I'm so active at trying to make everyone better. Right? If I increase the base average skill level of people I'm playing with, then my chances of having more good games are higher. So it's selfish, in a way.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Have you played with Stony much?
No, I really want to do this show with them.
Stony is so great. I absolutely adore him, and he's one that he won't let people play like that. Like, he'll straight up tell you, and he's the nicest person on this earth. But if you just play dumb, he'll tell you. He'll straight up be like, "That was really stupid. Why did you do that?" But he also helps you figure out why it was dumb and why you shouldn't have done it, which I think is pretty cool.
It's a fine line to thread tactfully.
Yeah, it really is. There's some people who are just like, "You're an idiot," and it's just mean, and that doesn't teach anybody anything they don't know, you know?
I don't think of myself as a mean person.
I don't think of you as a mean person either.
Well, thank you. But I'm just trying to... I'm not a hard sell either. Right, I'm not trying to push it. like, oh, you need to listen to me right now because I'm right sort of thing.
Right.
It's more, hey, I have a thought. Maybe you care to listen. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to listen sometimes too.
Well, I think we all need to listen sometimes.
No kidding.
But I think that that's usually the way to go about it. People don't tend to react well to, like, threats or anger or, like...
Are you good for one
you
more?
You get more flies with honey type of thing, you know?
You good for one more? Yes? One more?
One more, sure.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do.
All right. Let's do a big one. You want 2209? Can you do that? You're on PC,
yeah.
Right? Okay. Let's do a big one. This time I'm turning off alliances though, because those continents are ridiculous. If anyone gets to hold them.
I totally accepted alliances, and then I didn't even pay attention to who I was in an alliance with last game.
I don't think you accepted my alliance.
I didn't?
I'm kidding.
I'm like, what? I always accept alliances. I love when I'm in a game and I'm in an alliance with literally every player.
Yeah, but that's every game, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes I will not accept one person just because I want to, like, have one person I'm gonna hit.
Hey, you can always break it.
I usually will just tell you I'm gonna attack you. I did that in the tournament game, the one that I got the perfect score on. I was in an alliance with just about everybody, and as I was taking people out, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm attacking you, and then I would take them out.
Tell me, perfect score? What's the story there?
Oh, last tournament, I got the first perfect score of the tournament on Classic Progressive.
Cool.
I think it was No Blizzards or whatever. You know which one I'm talking about. I think it was like 2 or 3.
It was the second round.
Yeah.
Yes. That was actually the first time I played with Jacqueline, that game.
Yeah, that's last tourney is when I first met Jacqueline too. I posted on the Facebook page, and she responded, and then she just started talking to me. She's a nice lady.
Oh, tons of fun. I love people with personality. So, me Jacqueline was on my five-a-side team.
Yeah.
This season, yeah. So we got to practice a bit, and yeah, Sterling brought me in as a captain to help out because Liberator couldn't do it. He got busy. So I was like, oh, okay, I got a team. I got to kind of be a leader, on top of everything else that I'm doing. But it was really fun. I got to connect with Velocity, and I played a bunch of 2v2s. Let me invite one. Let's see if there's one more person. Maybe.
I was a captain of a team the first five-a-side tournament.
But you didn't compete in the second?
I didn't compete in the second. I felt like maybe I was letting Risk take up a little bit too much of my time with all the different tournaments. And, with the main tournament, it doesn't seem like it would take a lot of time. But, just the making the groups alone, takes up at least one day of my week during that time. And so I just thought, well, even though I'm stuck at home, I probably shouldn't, devote all of my time to, Risk. So I decided to take a little break.
Very responsible. How did that work out?
Well, actually, I feel like maybe I don't have the confidence necessarily to, really be into the tournaments. I think they're fun, but, I'll do it if somebody asks me type of thing. I don't necessarily feel like I need to do them. I don't know how to explain it, but so I don't mind taking breaks. I'll help out, and I'll, make the groups and all that stuff, but I'd rather watch people play than, necessarily compete in my own.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I think I'm more of a competitor. I love winning, obviously, and who doesn't, right?
Right. I was like, I loved winning too.
Okay, so when you say you don't have the confidence, maybe I misunderstand. Because you seem like a super confident person.
I mean, in the game itself, I was very humbled when I joined the Risk server. lost so many games. I mean, you've seen my Play with Friends, right? That's not all turning games. It can't possibly be. I haven't hosted that many. So I got kind of like, I found out that I wasn't as good as I thought I was.
Sure.
And then I realized that I like people too much to play the way that I would in, like, global with randoms. And I was just kind of, like, not giving it my all for a long time. And so I just didn't build up enough confidence to think, oh, well, I could play and beat these top players, you know? And it's just less stressful, more fun for me to, like, help these top players get to play against each other than for me to try and, like...
Okay, so devil's advocate, though.
Yeah,
don't you suppose that playing your very best against top players might be exactly what they would want?
It depends on the players, to be honest with you. I feel like the group nowadays, yes.
Okay.
When I first joined, there was, like, I mean, Arthur, I love him to death, but him and his, you know, group, they don't like to lose, and they don't take it very well. And so if I wanted to keep them as friends, I felt like I shouldn't really win. But then again, as I won more, they seemed to, like, appreciate it. So I don't know. Maybe I just didn't find the right balance in it.
Sure. The community does seem to fluctuate a lot as well.
It does.
So people come and go. What do you think we can do to keep people sticking around a bit longer?
So I personally, even before I joined the Risk server, I used to play the app for like a while, and then I would get bored, and then I would come back to it. Ouch.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for me to even, I don't know, other than like keeping the community, like doing community events, I don't know what more we really could. Like, I try to host a game or two every week just because I feel like that helps people, you know. If we don't have enough people hosting games, then obviously people are going to leave the community. And I try to make the games like fun games, not like serious games, but then I don't know. It's hard to say because Risk isn't exactly like, it doesn't change. It's the same thing, you know? So it's not like the game is going to change any and bring in, like, or keep people's interest. You have to just try and keep them connected, I guess. I don't know.
So I've been thinking about this a ton because it's one thing that I'm really passionate about since I've become so, like, you see how hard I'm working. Yes, and you know what? I see how hard you're working. So obviously we share a passion in this regard. So I want to theorize with you. I want to kind of brainstorm because it's a household name.
It really is.
Okay. There should be more people. How do you know? Are you feeling me here?
I do, and I feel like people don't, I mean, Risk is a game that you would play during the holidays when you have a bunch of family over, or like, it's not like a game that you would play on a day-to-day basis, if that makes any sense. Like, you wouldn't sit down with a Risk board and play Risk every day.
Yeah, but when you can play a game in 20 minutes, you don't need a Risk board.
Yeah, no, I know, but people just don't think of it that way because that's not how they played it, you know?
Yes. So how, right?
Yeah.
How do we
so how do we get people to know that?
Yes. That's where I'm going. Are we gonna
Are we
gonna be good neighbors here?
Yeah, we're gonna be good neighbors.
Okay,
I'm always a good neighbor.
I love that. I'm always good. Excellent. Excellent news. I will take that 12 troops in a heartbeat. Okay, who is Blue? Blue is Jimothy again? Okay, cool. I can work with you guys. I kind of want to fuck over Cowboy, though.
So what he did to you the first game.
So I'm saying, like, do you want to see him rage, or?
Yeah, it's fun.
It is kind of fun.
Is he charcoal this time? No, he's still white, right?
He's white. I think white is a very interesting choice for color.
I don't mind it, but it wouldn't be my first choice.
So it's not like an aesthetic thing for me. It's like a strategic thing. I think choosing red is kind of the opposite of choosing white, right? You look at red and you notice the heck out of it.
Right.
Whereas, Do you even see Cowboy over there? You might ignore. You might like not even notice that.
Especially if blizzards are on.
Oh, for sure. Meanwhile, I should know better than to antagonize him. So I will be very careful about how I play this.
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot too, honestly, because I feel like being one of the people who've been on the server a lot, like I have seen a lot of people come and go.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I wish that the game would do a better job of like getting it out there, but I don't think they do. I mean, other than it being, I've never seen an ad for Risk ever.
Yeah.
Like you see ads for video games, but I've never seen a Risk ad.
Well, it's a resource problem, right? I think they're below a critical mass point where they can afford to, put real money and look at what Drew did with his server and with just a little bit of prize money on the line, right?
Right.
He was able to get so much attention, and if there was real financial backing from Hasbro or whatever, like, hey, this is the World Championship. We have the World Championship with the quarterly free for all World Championship tomorrow. Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch. I actually want to. I want to upload the stream and do like a commentary for it.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, if no one else is going to do it, I'd be happy. Like, if one of the players wants to do it, sure. But like you remember, like I did last quarter.
Yeah.
I thought it was well received, and I thought we should. Well, sorry. Other than my questionable gameplay choices, I really want to.
No. It wasn't questionable. It was a good strategy. It just wasn't one I would have picked. If that makes more sense.
You'll have to forgive me, Storm. I was trying to win the tournament.
I did forgive you already.
Okay, thank you.
I actually felt bad for, I remember I played in a game with you after the tournament, and I'm pretty sure that I, went hard after you. I was still a little bit upset about it.
You're allowed. It's your game to play.
And I was like, huh?
I say you're allowed. It's your game to play. Come at me.
I know, but that's not how I play. And I remember thinking, I was like, what are you even doing? What are you even doing? And then I got to talk to you more, and I was like, well, that was silly. I don't know why I was upset.
It turns out this guy's an actual human being.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But
it was so cool that Misty won. I loved it. I love Misty. She is a hilarious person.
She is, and she's a good person. She's a genuinely good person.
Yeah. We gotta keep these folks around.
You son of a gun! I am so breaking you.
Angry Storm is angry.
Can't even believe he just did that. I mean, I get it because I went into his content, but I only hit a 1. It's not my fault.
Carbo, you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah. I think I've played with him a few times.
Carpo is one of the earliest people that I can remember commenting on my channel.
Yeah?
Yeah, for real. It was cool. It was folks like that kept me going. I almost quit.
I could see that. Knowing that you have, a fan base or an audience or whatever would definitely make it more of a thing that you would want to do. I mean, why make the videos if you're the only one that's going to watch them type of thing?
Then I'm shouting into the void.
Yeah.
Let's see if Cowboy guards himself effectively. Oh, I have to do it just for the jokes. Right? I have to do it just for the jokes.
Is he not your 2v2 partner, though?
Yeah, but, that's why. I want to see this guy rage out. I'm dumb, though, because I'm the one who has everything to lose. I got 2 continents. Everyone else only has 1. Do it.
I really want to hit him.
Do it.
I'm definitely going to do it. But I want to also put some troops over here.
Hey.
But I'm going to hit this.
Actually,
I'll move out.
I have an idea. I have a sneaky idea.
Oh my gosh, you're getting 17. I should have hit you.
No. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. It's fine. No, it's fine. Trust me. It'll be fine.
It will be fine. I believe you.
Mm-hmm. Let me just see if I can not piss off everybody for a little bit longer. I have a plan. I have an evil plan.
Love it.
Yeah, for sure.
I never have a plan.
Really?
He's totally gonna break me. Oh, he didn't even break me. Oh, yeah, he's gonna break me. I figured.
Uh-oh.
I have 5 cards, you silly boy. Why would you do that?
So what are your kids into? What are they going to do? Where are they going to go with their lives?
So that's kind of a tough subject around here. So, a little bit of a backstory. My marriage was not good, obviously. I mean, we're divorced. My ex-husband was abusive, mainly to me. I mean, kids see everything and they experience everything. So my kids have a little bit of trauma, is basically what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
And so my son, I don't know. He still lives with me. I don't think he really knows what he wants to do, but I think he needs to maybe deal with his trauma first. My daughter, on the other hand, is kind of the opposite. She wants to be independent and, like, do her own thing, and so she has a friend who does, like, assisted living nursing, and she wants to go and, like, work with her and do some cool program, I think, with that. But neither one of them have graduated, and it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, you got to get the piece of paper.
Yeah, it totally makes me feel like a failure as a mother, like I didn't push them enough or something. I don't know.
Oh, but that's not the right way to think about it.
I'm sure it's not, but like, as a mom,
you're just being hard on yourself.
I know.
Yeah, come on. I've gone through a lot of changes in my life the last couple of years, and I will say that being hard on myself was not the answer.
Yeah, and I honestly am always hard on myself. Always, and I always have been, and it's something I think that I try to be conscious of, but I don't know that I've been successful about it.
Can I ask you why, maybe?
Maybe, I think it has to do with maybe my own trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the answer.
It's not, and it doesn't get me anywhere. It's not beneficial. I just, in the moment, have a hard time, like, seeing that, maybe? I don't know how to say it.
Well, I used self-hatred as a motivator for a long time. And the problem with that was that none of my successes felt like successes. You know, because I was constantly trying to prove to myself that I deserved all the good in my life. And
right.
It took a lot of work, and I'm still not totally there, but it took a ton of effort to just get to a place where I can think, no, I'm going to work really hard at something I love because I love it and because I love who I am. And it's such a reframe. And I don't know if that's helpful.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It is, and it's definitely something that I want to work at. I think I've gotten better at it, honestly. I used to be the same way, and I definitely didn't think that I deserved anything but the trauma that I was experiencing.
Which is so obviously incorrect, right?
Yeah, it's really hard when you're in it to see that, but yeah, I mean, yeah. I would love to be able to, like, speak to women in situations like that, and, like, because now I see, you know, obviously I didn't do anything to deserve any of that, you know, but when you're in it, you just, it's hard to see that. Yeah.
Well, and that cuts back to what I was saying earlier about how it's really tough to get an objective measure. When you're in it, you're just like, oh my God, my feelings are the most real thing, and they're such a big deal. But this is the biggest nugget of wisdom I can possibly share that's sort of colored my entire life. Like, how I feel doesn't matter as much as I think it does. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, my opinion on myself, I definitely agree, doesn't matter as much as I think it should.
Right.
My feelings, though, I do feel like they should matter. Like, if you don't listen to your own feelings, then nobody's going to, type of thing, if that makes any sense.
Well, you said something interesting there. You said should matter.
Should matter,
Either they do or they don't. So what is it?
Well, they do matter. They do matter because in the end, you're the only one who knows what's okay for you or what's not okay for you. So, like, if you completely ignore your own feelings or your own concerns, then that's not good either. But personal opinions of yourself, yeah, definitely. It's not beneficial. Because so many things can sway those that they're clouded. They're not, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do.
All good. Play your turn. You got it.
I don't know what to do. I'm gonna die. I don't have a set. I'm going to do nothing. I'm gonna break him for fun. He's gonna be so mad at me.
Don't worry, he's gonna be dead.
Good, at least it won't.
It won't matter.
But no, so I'm really bad about, especially with the anxiety. I worry that, like, people are judging me all the time, or, like, I think a lot less of myself than I should, and I shouldn't do that. That people aren't as concerned as I am about myself.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so,
nobody cares.
Yeah.
Everyone's so obsessed with their own lives.
Focusing on it and obsessing about it is just stupid.
Totally, I agree. And that was also like a kind of a big realization. It's just like, you're so self-conscious, Pete, about what you said or what you did or whatever, and it just doesn't matter. Nobody gives a shit. You're not that important. Get over yourself.
Yeah, for real though. And, like, nobody notices the things that you think they do. Like, if I say something stupid and I focus on it for the next 24 hours, chances are that whoever I said it to didn't even notice that I said it. Like, they didn't give it a second thought, you know?
Yeah, more often than not.
Yeah, for sure.
More often than not. It's like, it's the ego again. And we get why it's there. Like, it's a self-preservation mechanism, but
it's definitely also the ego. Like, I feel like my ego stuff is, I mean, I have 4 siblings, and I was second to youngest. Cool. So, like, always competing kind of with them kind of made me to where I feel like my ego gets bruised pretty easy. Like, I need to feel like I'm higher up on the ladder type of thing, you know?
Yeah. I get it. That's, how did that end up happening? You have 4 brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have 3 sisters and a brother. I'm second to youngest. So my parents, we have a blended family. My parents were both married before they married each other.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad had a daughter with his first wife. My mom had a daughter and a son with her first husband. And then they got married and they had me and my younger sister. But they were all really young, so, like, I grew up with them all.
And how was it? Was it super fun? Ups and downs?
It had its times, I guess. I'm really, really, really close to my youngest sister, but that's because I kind of, like, raised her. So they were young, but, like, they're also a little bit older than me. I think the one closest to age with me is almost 5 years older.
Okay.
So they had their own. They didn't really care about us as much as you would think. Only if they were starting trouble. But they left, and it was just her and I, and so I took care of her. I actually consider her, like, my firstborn. She's like my daughter. She's my sister and my best friend, but she's also like my daughter. But the other ones, I'm not very close. I'm closer with now than I was then, but I don't know. It was like having a lot of brothers and sisters and not at the same time, if that makes any sense at all.
I am definitely like that with my one sister. We work way better when we don't live together.
Yeah. You have twin sisters, right?
I have twin. Yeah, so it's an interesting story. My sister Michelle is my size. She's like 6 feet tall. She's a chef, and her twin Jenna is 5 feet tall, teeny tiny, and she's a research scientist. So, did my game just freeze? Oh no!
Oh no!
No! Oh, I'm in draft. Okay, and no, it cut back to the draft stage for some weird reason.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's a research scientist. She did her PhD in heart valve tissue engineering.
Wow.
Yeah, super cool stuff. I got to see. I went down to the research lab once. I got to see the place where they grow the tissue in like a nutrient bath with a pulse and everything. It's super crazy.
Oh, I bet.
Oh yeah, I love it. So both of these women are. I'm very impressed with the trajectory that their lives went. Like, we were never particularly wealthy. We were never poor either, but I think the little bit of lack growing up was a great motivator for us all to kind of be independently successful in our own ways.
For sure.
Yeah. I miss my sister Jenna. She moved to Vancouver last summer, so not the COVID summer, but the one before. The three of us actually drove from Toronto to Vancouver as like a sibling road trip.
Aww.
Which was the best, right? I haven't spent that much time with them in years because Mish has a son, so we obviously how are you going to get a week with a young child? But her son was finally old enough that we could spare the time.
How much age difference is there between you guys?
I'm the oldest, so they're 2.5 years.
2.5. I feel like that's a good distance.
It was great. It was great. It was always like nice to have a friend around, someone I could hang out with, but also because I'm the boy and because I'm older, I had my own space a lot too. Like they had their own,
for sure.
They had their own group of friends
and they were twins, so they had that.
Exactly.
How cool!
I know, it was awesome.
My dad is an identical twin.
Does he have the same personality?
I have a sister named Michelle too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Your dad has the same personality as his brother?
Yeah, they're exactly the same.
Yeah, I love that.
To the key.
I love that story. Where they're, these are the only clones in nature.
Yeah, and they really are. Like, they could go years and years without seeing each other and then get back together and they have, like, the same haircut as the other one. And, like, they're just completely identical.
I love it. So, Storm, before we go, is there anything you would like to promote, anything you'd like to say, draw people's attention to?
Have fun. It's a game. That's all I can say.
Have fun. That's a good one. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you for listening to me babble.
Likewise. Back at ya. Stick around for a minute. I'm going to do my outro, then I want to chat with you a bit more. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you like my work and are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe and come on this journey with me. The Wednesday show is the podcast-style interview show. Fridays we do fixed content. I'm doing a Tuesday stream in the evenings, Eastern Time, with Drew on Drew's channel on Twitch. You can also find me on Twitch, Kill Pete Strat, and on YouTube, The Kill Pete Strategy. I hope you guys enjoyed, and for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.